7:42. Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. So, last week we had a lot of rain and we had some very cool temperatures for this time of year in the 40s. Our average temperatures are in the 60s on average at Columbia Metropolitan Airport. And one way we can help out with all of science, which of course I love because I'm a weather nerd, is to help with some of those observations of how much rain and what we're seeing out there during these rain events. And so with me today we have our state climatologist, Hope Mazzell, and also from the National Weather Service, Leonard Vaughn, who just got off his midnight shift, by the way. So he is a trooper for coming in this morning. And we're going to talk about something about March Madness. People usually associate it with basketball, but we've got a way you can do and help others, right? So what's CoCoRaHS?
Yeah, the CoCoRaHS program it's an acronym for Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network. And basically it's a grassroots program that began back in 1998 at Colorado State University. And South Carolina joined back in 2008. And it's just a way for people to measure rainfall in their backyards and become part of the weather community and actually supplement the data that the National Weather Service uses to actually give us more rainfall observers across the state.
And we have a lot of observers across the state. Actually, last week we went and saw one, if we can have some video of it right now. We went and saw one over at USC, and they have a good little rain gauge over there in the garden. And how do you have to set one up, I guess is what we're saying?
Yeah, basically you just have a rain gauge. The one over at USC was a 4-inch rain gauge, and that's the one that they like for the CoCoRaHS program to use. And this one is run by the geography department there with a group called CISA, which is a project over there. And they're using it for drought studies. So the data is not only used by the Weather Service, but climatologists, like TV meteorologists, and also for research.
Yeah, I use it all the time going on there, reporting at 7 a.m. Everybody reports their observations, and then we look at it and see how much rain fell. And it's kind of better to look at it than just the airports here in the air. Now, Hope, how many observation sites do we have across the state of South Carolina? There's a good many.
That's correct. And yes, we have put together a map to show the observers across the state, and we are excited that in the past 5 years we've been able to recruit over 250 citizen scientists. That's
Nice.
like what we like to call those CoCoRaHS observers. And that's really been key to supplementing our rainfall network. Every dot on that map are observers that reported during one of last week's rainy days. So you can see in certain counties we have really good coverage, but in others, we need some additional observations. Even in some counties here in the Midlands, you can see we don't really have a single CoCoRaHS observer.
If you're in Fairfield County, we want you to sign up right now. Here, go to the website CoCoRaHS.org. We could really help out with that observation network in Fairfield County, and also look at there, Sumter County as well. Now, Leonard, we have another slide here for you that shows the rainfall and the difference it can make with these observations here. So tell us about that.
Yeah, in this slide, actually, what you're seeing is this is just the rainfall that we have from our automated systems and our co-op weather observers for the National Weather Service.
So you can see it kind of puts a little bullseye over parts of southern Kershaw County there. Pretty broad one.
Right. And then when we factor in the CoCoRaHS observers, which are the ones that Hope mentioned just a minute ago, you can see it actually, we get a little more detail with the map, so you can see a little bit better where the heaviest rain fell and where the least amount of rain fell.
And you can see that really is just more of a, I guess you could say, a high definition look, a more higher resolution kind of, I guess, observation. Yeah,
those additional CoCoRaHS observers actually, they definitely make a big difference in giving us better resolution as far as getting like a rainfall map.
And it helps out, Hope, with your climatology of this, say, a rain event. You know where the highest rainfall fell, you know where the lowest amount of rainfall fell, and so you can really zoom in on who's in drought, who's not, right?
It's very important. Just this past year, during some heavy rainfall events, we were able to document some high total, 7 inches, 9 inches, that would have been lost without the CoCoRaHS network because they wouldn't have been documented. You need that high resolution of the gauges to be able to pick up the high variability of rainfall.
And the cool thing about this is that you can all help out with this network, the CoCoRaHS network, CoCoRaHS.org. We'll be back here in just a few minutes to tell you how you can help the state of South Carolina take the victory from last year from the North Carolina people. We'll do that right after this. All right, it's 7:54. Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. Continuing our talk this morning with the state climatologist of South Carolina, Hope Mazzell, and a meteorologist from the National Weather Service, Leonard Vaughn, who is just off his midnight shift, what I think is awesome. Thanks for coming in to talk with us this morning. And we're talking about March Madness, CoCoRaHS, which is standing for kind of a network of observations that you can take every morning and tell us how much rain fell in your location. So, Leonard, what do people need to do to sign up for this March Madness and help South Carolina win?
Yeah, basically you just go to the CoCoRaHS website, which is www.cocorahs.org. And there's a little button up in the right-hand corner where you can click on it and sign up. And we'd like to have as many people across the area sign up as possible. And we have it March Madness because this is our big rush during the year. And all the states sort of compete, and whoever has the most people sign up during the month of March gets to bring the CoCoRaHS Cup home.
Oh.
And we would like to bring it back to South
Have we ever
Carolina.
seen the CoCoRaHS Cup, Hope?
Yes, in our first year involved in CoCoRaHS, we won the CoCoRaHS Cup. That was in 2008.
Nice.
So let's take it again in 2014.
And so this year, our biggest competition would be who?
Well, unfortunately, for the past few years, we continue to come in behind North Carolina and sometimes a few other states. But we would really like to pass North Carolina this year, so we would appreciate everybody considering joining CoCoRaHS, going to that website. From there, you can sign up and also purchase one of the required rain gauges.
And speaking of the rain gauges, here we have it right here. It's a nice little sturdy thing, a 1-inch rain gauge, and then it goes up to 4 inches, right, Leonard?
Well, it's actually 4 inches in diameter across.
Okay, there we go.
And the tube inside will hold 1 inch, and then of course it will overflow after it gets up to 1 inch. But yeah, they're very well made. They're very sturdy. I've had one myself for several years, and other than the fact it gets a little dirty, it's been great. Hasn't cracked or broken.
I bought one of these when I was in college, and then I gave it to my grandfather. So I'm trying to get him to sign up in Clinton so we can get one in Lawrence County there. So yeah, definitely in areas in the Midlands, we do need to get people to sign up because like we said on the map earlier, if you saw the segment, it was Fairfield County, Kershaw County, Sumter County, so areas, and even towards the PD, if you know anybody in the PD region, desperately need observations there.
In the PD.
And so it just takes a little bit of work every morning if you're a weather enthusiast, right?
That's correct. I mean, it's ideal certainly if you had a computer, but really we've timed it, and after you go outside, check to make sure if you've had any precipitation, take the appropriate measurement, then go inside. In less than 20 seconds you can enter that observation on the computer, and then you can actually compare your observations to others around the state or in your community and know that it's making a big difference for a lot of folks around South Carolina.
And the cool thing is that some people are very dedicated to this, and real quickly, only have a few seconds left, here is some people doing great with a graphic here that we have.
We want to take just a moment to recognize not just recruitment but retention. And retention, these are our 5 years and our 5 stars. CoCoRaHS in the Carolinas for 5 years. All the different stars that you see on this map are those observers that have been taking observations for the past 5 years.
So again, CoCoRaHS.org, that's all you got to go to sign up, get your rain gauge, and we will continue, hopefully, making the trek towards beating North Carolina this month during March Madness. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We will be back with more Good Day Columbia coming up right after this.